welcome back to the show. I thought I would give you an update on this one. It's kind of a bumper one because we haven't done one for a little while on this car. So let's give you an update on where we are. It's noticeably different from when last time we saw it. We've got namely the GTI Volantis on the rear here, and the plastic boot trim which is found on the earlier models in this. This is an M reg, and they stopped putting these on cars sort of around JK reg, so making it look a little bit earlier than it actually is. Moving over to the front here, I've put amber indicators on, which is something I don't usually do, but I thought I would with this one. Don't usually like 5 doors. The bumper here is it needs a bolt going from behind the wing there to hold it in place, and I can't put the red trim piece that I've sprayed up on the front here yet, predominantly because I've had some work done recently, and they tried to get the bumper off, tried to get the wing off, tried to get the bumper off, and it's now got hideous like bolts going through it. Had a little look at the paintwork here and scraped off a lot of that old lacquer. Still loads to do, sadly, and I think I'm probably going to end up having to spray this. There's no real sort of shortcut into sorting these paint corrections out. You can see on the bonnet here was exactly how it was on the roof, but I don't think I can replicate the success with the bonnet itself. Central locking's not working for some reason or another. It was when I first bought the car. As you remember, it was unlocking the car but not locking it, but it's not doing anything at all now, so I need to look into that. First part of the welding that I had done here was above this window strip. Remember I bodged this previously in some of the episodes, but I've actually probably had this sorted out now because I'm planning on keeping this car, and it just needed doing, and I can't really sort of cut corners with cars that I'm going to own myself. So that's done. Interior still lovely, nice and blue look. It's got the original seats in as it should do. Right, gear knob, put a cheap Chinesian one on there, needs sorting out. This ashtray here was broken on one latch, but now I've replaced it for another, so that's nice and tight, and it opens and shuts as it should. Up here, map light I've installed in this. It was a blank there before, but I thought, well, nice little touch to put the map light in. It does work when the car's actually running, which is a nice little bonus. And as you see on the floor here, this is a clutch cable. What happened with this car is the clutch cable gave out while I was lending this car to a friend of mine, and through age it just snapped. So that's been replaced, and that cost me 120 quid to get that sorted out. But we do have a clutch cable in there now, and the clutch is working again. I had to limp this car back in first gear on a bank holiday weekend, which was not ideal. But there is a side effect to this perhaps, which I'm going to show you now. So we're going to head over to the engine bay, and I'll show you what I mean with this. I think I might have scuppered myself with this, and this is where this episode's a little bit more dramatic than usual. We've gone from, we'll just show you that actually. I had that welded as well. Remember, I botched that and put loads of filler in it, but that's actually been properly welded now, and that's the reason why the wing had to come off, or they tried to take the wing off because they had to cut around it. The spotlights that I fitted to the front of the car, the loom's actually there. These are a bit droopy. I've had to put a bit of Velcro either side there, but the loom is there either side, so I might be able to cut into that and actually get the spotlights working at some point. But let's have a little look at this engine issue. So when I got the car back, as you can see here, that the engine is really, really ropey and lumpy. It was cutting out the first sort of 3 or 4 turns of the engine, and looking back here, this is not ideal at all, is it? That something drastically has gone wrong, and to me it looks a lot like head gasket or the turbo or something's blown here, but I'm not going to discount the fact that there could be some other issue here. But when the clutch cable was fitted, something might have happened. When I linked it back in first gear, something could have happened. So it's a game of two halves at the moment. I'm going to have to get this car recovered again to a garage and get it looked at, because this is certainly way out of my area of expertise. So the cover will be this fuel pump here. You see some components are loose, and I got told there's sort of a wax stats that controls the idle of the car, which could be at fault. So hopefully it's that and it's not the head gasket. If it is a head gasket, perhaps we'll go down the route of sourcing it out. As long as it becomes a dependable car, then that's the only real thing that I'm concerned about. I don't want to keep pumping money into this car if it turns out that it's just a bit of a rogue, and some cars can be like this. It doesn't matter how reliable the engine is. An XUD might very well be bulletproof, but if it's got gremlins in the system, it always will have gremlins. So look at those wheels there. I've fitted some wheel trims, put the boot fin on as well, which is one I had from the red car. I salvaged it off that. And here the boot lid actually stays up again now, which I replaced the gas struts there, which is a nice easy repair actually, and I had them already up in my stock. So those are replacing, now the boot stays up, especially with the parcel shelf on as well, added weight, so it's a good sign. It's been welded in the boot floor here. Again, if you remember in previous episodes that I did put a load of filler in that. And under here on the advisories it said that it needed welding around the bump stop area, which has been done on this car now. So that was an advisory that I just went ahead and did, and it needed it. It's a Cornish car most of its life, so you can sort of forgive it for being a wee bit crispy. Put a big layer of wax oil under seal on the car as well. You see the red trim I put on the back there, actually sprayed that. I'm having a few issues trying to get the water bottle working. I've put a couple of motors in this now, but it seems that the front and rear don't want to work, and I bought a replacement pump here which said it was for a 205, but as you can probably see here, that isn't the right one. All in all, I'm really hoping that we can get this car sorted out, because the welding was 200 quid, various paints and bumpers and bits and pieces probably stand me about £80. And so it's for a 5-door, it's a lot of money to be spending out on, but we're too far in now, so I guess we'll see next episode, won't we? I'll catch you next time, okay? Bye.